Hello my friends all over the world, wherever you are. In this video I'm going to demonstrate how I'm going to convert a Model 265 juicer into a 275 hybrid model. The first step is going to be to remove the sheet metal. First we'll take off the hydraulic cover. Next we're going to take off the sheet metal. Remove the sheet metal and set that aside. And we'll take the grommet out at the back. Unplug the switch and we'll set that aside. The next step is to turn this upside down, because we're going to remove the bottom plate. And of course the first step on the plate removal is to remove the feet. The next step is to use our yogurt container to prop up the pump side, and also we're going to need a piece of cardboard to put between the pump and the motor to hold the pump in place, and perhaps a piece of cardboard between this yogurt container and the hydraulic reservoir so that nothing falls down. Now the tools you're going to need are a Phillips screwdriver to remove the ground wire at the bottom. The next step is going to be to remove the two 1/4-inch bolts for the motor and the 1/4-inch bolt for the hydraulic reservoir. And the last step, you'll need a 3/4-inch wrench to remove the posts. Last step, of course, take off the 4 bolts for the posts, and you may need to tap it with a hammer a little to get it loose. Let's take these bolts off here so they don't rattle. We'll set these aside, and then with a hammer give a little tap all the way around. Very easy. Now in some cases the bottom plate would be cracked, so you'd want to replace it with an original equipment manufactured plate. In this case it's not cracked. We're just going to replace this with a refurbished plate, and then we're going to sandblast this and get it ready for the next burst. First thing I'm going to do is clean off any juice residue from the bottom of the pump and the bottom of the reservoir. Now we finished sandblasting the bottom plate clean, so if you're going to put a new plate on a 265 model that's been cracked, or you're sandblasting the existing plate, the next step will be to line up the holes of the posts and press it on. And in this case I'm going to use a wooden mallet to pound it down. And we're going to put it together with the 4 post bolts. Tighten that up. Let's check the other posts just a bit, make sure they're tight. Okay. And then of course the last step is to put the bolts in the reservoir. Line that up. Pump bolts by hand. And reservoir bolts. And we'll take the ratchet and tighten it the rest of the way. And of course, the last step is to put in the ground wire and the power cord from the bottom. Of course, it's going to be a little bit easier to put the ground wire in after we turn the juicer around, and we'll tighten that ground wire down here. And the last step, of course, is to replace the sheet metal. First we plug in the switch. New logos. And on goes the hydraulic front surround metal. And the last step, putting on the pump cover, and then we're going to caulk the corner posts and around the escutcheon and put on the press plate. Of course, the last step is to put the press plate on. And goes the guide post. The first thing I've done to convert this is to round the corners of the motor front plate. And I've rounded the corners of all the sheet metal. I've also put on a digital thermometer that plugs into the feed tube. Added a leg height kit. And if you'd like to contact me, my phone number is 760-753-0321. My email address is developtrust@cox.net, and my webpage is wholehealthfound.com. See you in the next video.